Hey, I have an update for you guys. I finished my striped bag, knitting it all, and then I like crocheted the two strap ends together. It's not like done, but we have most of it. Here it is. I'm so happy with these colors. I think it's so freaking cute. And it's I made it so it's like the perfect length to be a crossbody. Yes, sorry. I'm so excited. I think it's so cute. Oh my god. So I still need to like sew up the straps. Um, and then we've got like the I-cord part, and then you put like paracord through this to make it scrunchy. And she in the videos that she posted, it's like extra scrunchy around like the strap too, but I think that would be so overstimulating for my sensory issues. So I'm kind of just expecting to like wear it like this. I think this is perfect. I think aesthetically this is exactly what I want. It's honestly a really good size bag. Like I'll be able to put, I think even my iPad would fit in this. Well, yeah. It'll stretch out a little bit. Um, that's something to consider. I was planning on doing like a sewn lining so that this doesn't like stretch a lot. But low key, I don't know. I'm kind of torn because if it does stretch, it'll be bigger, and I'd be putting a lot of shit in my bags, you know? Like, I guess like a normal day for me is like I have my keys on a giant carabiner. It's crazy. It's like kind of insane. Weenie's coming to check everything out. But I usually have my iPad when I'm going to work and my like water bottle. I have my like mid-size Owala that I always bring, so that's usually pretty heavy. And then on any given day, usually a sketchbook and a knitting project. So like I'm taking a good size bag. My like go-to bag is this Big Bud Press one. Oh, girl, get out of my way. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Whoa. She's crazy. Ah, and now she's trying to get my mac and cheese. Oh my gosh. Yes, I survive on mac and cheese alone. Don't judge me. This is technically like, that's technically the same mac and cheese that was in my first video. And that's not because I'm disgusting. That's because like only a couple days have passed. So don't look at me like that. This is my like go-to bag. It's this Big Bud Press bag. It's very colorful, very fun. I can fit so many things in it. These like front pockets are the perfect size for my Owala, which is really nice because like I hate when a water bottle is like rolling around in a bag. I don't know, it just like it stresses me out. Girl, get out of my mac and cheese. Crazy girl. Why are you like this? I love you. She's so sassy. If you have a sassy girl cat, you get it. She loves my partner. She tolerates me sometimes. But yeah, this is the bag. So I just wanted to update you guys on that. I'm gonna give you some up close because I'm just so obsessed. I think these colors look so good, and here you can see this is the hand spun, my first hand spun skein that I made with the like teal and the green sari silk. Same in here through these colors, and I love how it worked up. I'm so obsessed, so obsessed. Okay, bye. I have another update for you guys, and that is my second hand spun skein. I'm so obsessed with how she turned out. So this one for the multicolor stuff, I got like a mystery art bat from Jackass Collective. They make some really cool content if you don't already know them. This is a different cat now. I'm just in their window. This is their window, not mine. I mixed the like teal that I had from my starter set from Walnut Farms Designs, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. To be honest, these aren't really my colors. These are more like tropical fish vibes, and I like some bright colors sometimes as like a pop, but I really love like a muted rainbow vibe. But this like bright teal and yellow just isn't quite me. We'll see if I hold on to it or if I just give it to someone else. Either way, it'll find a good home and it'll get some love. I feel like my spinning was way more consistent this time, just a lot more even, and because of that, I did get some extra yardage out of this one versus the other skeins that I had done. I do have a little bit left over of this like this light teal and then the dark teal from my like starter kit. So I could probably just apply them together, but it's just like not much. So I can just incorporate that into like something scrappy, and I think that'd be pretty fun. I got a package. This is some more stuff from Walnut Farms Designs. I ordered some roving to make my grandma some yarn, and then I added one extra color because I was kind of obsessed with it. So Open that. So this is some navy with like sari silk in it. It's kind of hard to see because of the plastic, but it's very pretty. I like that. Heck yeah. And then I got, this is the one that I bought for me. Got this lichen. It's like, it's just chartreuse. It's very much my color. I love chartreuse. You can see like my wall is chartreusey. And I also got this like navy color. My grandma, I asked her what her favorite color was, and it was like this like desaturated navy. So I'm planning on doing these two applied together so that she gets a little bit of some color and a little variation. And I think that'll be really pretty. Yeah, I'm happy with the choices I made. I also low-key feel like this would look good with these navies, but we'll see. That's my haul. I'm trying to buy a lot less. I'm trying to stop buying stuff. But I just, spending has been so fun, and I'm going to go visit my family in May in Texas, and I thought it'd be really nice to make my grandma some yarn because she also knits, and I don't know, having those like generational ties between hobbies just like means a lot to me. My grandma and grandpa, like, I don't know, just like really showed me like how creative people can be. So I want to make her some yarn. And then I also just bought some yarn off of Hobby to make my mom a shirt. I made this little like star tester tee. I think it's the Stella tee by Sleep Stitching. I got to pattern test it. It was my first pattern test. It was my first color work piece. It was a lot of fun, and I made myself a green one. And then my mom asked if she could have a navy blue one. Apparently my mom and my grandma are on the same page with colors, so that was kind of cute too, like seeing that. And so yeah, I ordered some yarn to make my mom that shirt. Since she lives in Texas, I didn't want to just use any navy color yarn because it needs to be breathable. So I got her a cotton, and I'm hoping that the cotton will be breathable enough. It still might be like a winter tee, you know, I don't know. We'll see. And then I bought a little extra stuff because Hobby was having a pretty good sale. So I bought a couple of different colors of sock yarn because I really, really want to make socks, and they were wool, which I like the idea of that better than acrylic. And then I also bought some mohair because I've been really wanting to work with mohair, and they had some pretty colors that were on like a good amount of sale. So this month's yarn budget has been kind of crazy, and I need to stop. I mean, I have so much yarn, I would be fine not ever buying yarn again, at least for a couple years. The only issue is like projects, but I do a lot of scrappy projects. So like I can make do with what I have. I think I would like to try and do like a no more buy this year, maybe just like especially like a no online buying, because there's a yarn festival in Putnam County that's going to be in April, and the small business people, I would like to be able to buy from them, you know. And I'm just getting into spinning, so like my theory is as long as I'm like using the things, as long as I'm actively spinning, as long as I'm not hoarding supplies to be doing these crafts without actually using them, I think it's fine. I don't know. It's a whole like internal battle and like not over consuming. I think I also want to do like a yarn destash at some point because a lot of the yarn I have, I mentioned it a couple videos ago, but my friend's grandpa like goes to auctions and got like a bunch of like giant vacuum seal bags of yarn, and so she gave me two of them, like two massive bags. And so a lot of it is like scrap quantity, and then there's a lot of baby yarn, like baby acrylic, that I just don't think I'm going to use. It's in like pinks and like pastel variegated colors that just like aren't really my vibe. So I would like to go through all of my yarn, I think, and donate a good amount of it. We just had a creative reuse store open up, so I feel a lot less bad donating something to a creative reuse store rather than just donating to like Goodwill and like worrying that it's just going to end up in like the trash, because that just feels icky. So that'll probably be a video kind of soon, is just destashing my yarn, because I actually have so much. I have those like closet towel rack things. I have two of those pretty full. They're different sizes, but they're full in my closet. And then I have this whole bin is just my variegated stuff. This entire thing is just my variegated stuff. That's bad. That's bad. I don't know. Everyone has different expectations for what they want their stash to be. Most of mine's acrylic, which I'm trying to like de-influence the like don't use acrylic part of my brain, because a lot of people just hate on acrylic, and I don't love the idea of it. I don't like the idea of like the plastics and everything, but I have so much of it, you know, like why just toss it out? I'm not going to toss it out. So yeah, I want to work on it, and just the stuff that I think I'm never going to use, I need to use. So in addition to the stuff in my closet in that big box, because I just bought all that hand spun stuff and a bunch of wool stuff, I have an entire dresser drawer full of wool, which is awesome. I'm so excited, and that stuff will be getting used. But I have a lot. I have a lot of space being taken up by yarn. I also have so many other hobby items that I don't need. So I need to do a big like general craft room declutter. On another note, today I'm headed into the little ceramics studio. I do ceramics at like a local park art center. It's called the Garfield Park Art Center. It's in Indianapolis, and it's great. If you're in the Indianapolis area, I definitely recommend it. They have some really amazing classes. They're really affordable classes. Um, Whenever I go in, so I'm currently enrolled in like a 6 week like ceramics hand building class. But when you're not, for studio days, it's only $5 a day. I think it's $30 for a whole month. And that includes firing and glazes and access to everything. So it's definitely like the most affordable option for ceramics in the Indianapolis area that I've seen. And it's a great like community resource. And they get like funding from like the parks and stuff. So like the more people that show up, the more funding they get. So if you're considering taking classes or just doing ceramics anyway, I definitely recommend it. And they're open like most days. I think they're just closed Sundays and Mondays. They're open Tuesday through Saturday. I think during the week it's like noon to 7:30 or something. So like there's a good amount of hours. If you work like a normal desk job, you might be a little squished in there, but I really like it, and I definitely recommend it to anyone else. I took a mending class with my partner there. That was the first class I took, and then my partner and I also did a wheel throwing class back in the fall. And then yeah, now I'm in a hand building class, and I'm loving it. I'm kind of obsessed with hand building, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm gonna take you to the studio today and show you some things that I'm working on. I'm hoping to get like a solid 5 hours in the studio, maybe. We'll see. I also think I have some like glaze stuff that got fired, so I'm so excited to see, because I don't think I've ever like fully finished a piece of ceramics except for like in high school. Not even high school. I think it was middle school, and it was not good. I did not know what I was doing, so I'm so excited to see these finished pieces. Okay, so we are in the studio. I didn't have any really specific plans on what I wanted to work on. Um, to be honest, I saw some of my glazed pieces, and it was really sad. It made me like significantly less motivated to work on things today. I probably spent about like 2.5 hours at the studio, which I'm kind of happy. Like I'm really happy with. I ended up getting there a little bit later. I had lunch with a friend, which was really nice, and then we went to the studio for a little bit. Um, yeah, I show the glazed pieces at the end, and talk about like what really happened with them and how I'm kind of disappointed. But yeah, I had been so excited. I like could barely sleep last night because I was so excited to come in and like see my glazed pieces. So then seeing that like they were all kind of messed up and unusable was really sad. Again, I'll get into that more. I'll also have like dedicated chapters. This segment goes on for a little bit just because ceramics, so if you don't want to watch me like actively making little items, you can go ahead and skip this part. But right now I'm working on little like keychain things. I kind of just wanted to work on a few smaller things that I could put a little bit more detail in. Before this, I like coil built a little charcuterie snack tray that looks like a bug. I'll insert that clip a little bit later too. Um, and unfortunately, I had to take off the antennas because I just didn't know how to make it work. But I think I'm gonna give it little spoon antennas. It'll make more sense once you see like what I'm talking about. But right now, I was working on a little bug charm, which I come back to in a little bit because I ended up redoing the surface design that I had done. And then right now, I'm like putting together a little fish charm. Yeah, this one was kind of fun. I just needed something simple to like keep me motivated. I think these projects were really great because I was able to put so much attention into every little surface. Finishing up like the surface details on larger projects just feels so overwhelming and daunting when the project's heavy and you're picking it up and it's flopping everywhere while you're trying to like finish it, and like your fingerprints are getting everywhere. It's just so overwhelming. I'm thinking about potentially going into the studio again tomorrow, just so I can work on these projects a little bit more while they're slightly dry, but not like like bone dry, you know, so that I can get a little bit more like shaping and refining in on the details, especially because like my intention is for these to be like bag charms or keychains, and I want them to not be sharp. I want them to feel like well made, you know. Um, yeah, so I was just testing different little ideas. I did a fish, a bug. After my phone ran out of storage, I did a little cat charm, which was like, it's not my favorite, but I did it. And then I do a little silly goofy frog. This silly goofy frog is my favorite make of the day for sure. Um, I also finished up a little bug like hanger thing that I had shown a little bit of a clip of like the bug part with before I added the hooks um, in my like first video I made. Um, and so now I added the hooks on and I added a little bit of texture. I think it's cute. It's a little bulky, but I think it's like intentionally bulky, you know? Like I think it'll be cute. So yeah, just vibing in the stew, listening to some Big Thief. I've been listening to the Capacity album over and over. I've always liked their music, but my partner got me the Capacity album for Valentine's Day, which was really sweet. And so I put it on my iTunes, so now I can listen to it on my phone because CDs are the best. And yeah, just been listening to that a lot. Also, shout out if you're into music, Rex. Check out the band Wombo. They're from Kentucky, and they make some really cool, like psychedelic rocky stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I think Slab is one of their albums. I think that's one of the albums I like better, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm new to being an album listener rather than just a song listener, you know? I don't know. This is me making a frog. Rarely do I know what I'm gonna do when I start these projects, you know? So that's his little toes. Oh my god, an arm. He's being birthed. I don't know. I just wanted some silly, goofy things. Like, to be honest, I think just like finding motivation, especially when you're like starting a new skill, just finding like inspiration. It doesn't have to be the most original, you know. If you like, I'm an artist that consumes a lot of other artists' materials, I guess, you know, like I watch a lot of YouTube. I'll probably like make a video just of like some of my favorite like art YouTubers as far as like knitting, illustration, ceramics, just because I think like surrounding yourself with other art is just like a beautiful thing in life in general. Um, let alone like the inspiration. Obviously, don't go out here copying people's stuff and selling it, but like taking inspiration here and there, trying to use similar techniques as they use, all valuable things. So I just wanted to make a silly frog. I feel like everyone loves silly frogs. Okay? So I did it. I did a dang silly frog. And I'm putting in an eye right now. I do a lot of this surface design where I like carve into it, and you know, maybe it would be more effective if I waited to do this stage until it was a little drier and I could like do actual sgraffito with underclays. I don't know. I should figure that out. Um, it also just like it feels wrong to not develop the ideas a little bit more fully at this stage. I think I just I'm so much more comfortable with illustration than I am with ceramics and sculpting, so I tend to just do more illustrative stuff on those surfaces. Yeah, this is sorry, I'm eepy. It's nighttime. This is like a really good test of my abilities to like transfer between materials. I'm really hoping that ceramics is a hobby that sticks. I really like the place that I do them at. And I'm trying to go as often as I can to try and make this place feel like a third space because I really struggle to leave my house and go into like new places. Um, and I want this to be a regular habit of mine is to like be in an artistic space surrounded by other artists. There wasn't really many other people there. I'm sure you'll hear throughout these clips sometimes there's like some opera singing or like some piano. A lot of times there's like music classes going on and it's kind of a vibe. Like I said, I did have my headphones in like here just because I was there for like 2.5 hours. I don't want to sit in silence for that entire time. But there's usually some other stuff going on that's kind of fun and entertaining. Yeah, I added like a little log piece in between his feet. That way for the charm it can like go through like between his belly and his feet, you know, that way I didn't have to make a dedicated like charm hole, if that makes sense. That way it's incorporated into the design. It feels a little bit more integrated rather than being an afterthought and just poking a hole in his butt or his eye or whatever, you know. Um, Also structurally it needed it. I like dang near ripped his arms off a couple times. I feel like as you watch me progress to like the bug to the fish to the frog, you know, I think like I start refining a lot more, and like there's just, you get little clay boogers everywhere. Like, get this booger off of here. Gosh, you touch anything and it's like boogers everywhere. Little clay boogers. I'm putting my name in the back. I don't know. I'm trying to make the backs a little neater. Like I said, none of this is refined technique. This is simply me looking around and finding out. And hopefully finding out that I secretly love ceramics and it's going to be everything I've ever wanted. Hopefully. But we'll see. I'm adding in some little skin textures here because we don't want him to be flat. We want him to have life. I think he's really cute. I think he's so awkward. I think he'd probably be bullied in school, but then end up being a really cool adult. I don't know. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, I don't know. He's giving Goofy. He's giving Sweetie Pie. He just needs to hang out on your bag. And now he has an eyeball. Life. Life has been birthed in this moment. Nostrils? Literally breathing life into him. Sorry, it's late. I should not be doing this voiceover this late, but this is probably what we're sticking with, so congratulations if you're hearing this. I was EP. See, and more clay boogers. They're everywhere. It's almost as bad as like drawing with oil pastels. I swear to God. Frog. I like him. Give me recommendations for names for him and for all the other critters. We have charcuterie bug. We have. Oh, I got scared. That was me talking to a girl in my class. I think that's the only talking I did. Anyway, we're back. This is the bug again. I smoothed out all the surface design, left the hole, then got put some stars on the sides because I do this design a lot in like my bug drawings. So I don't know, it just felt better. The design that I had before just was not vibing. I'm learning these tools a lot better throughout this whole process. Yeah, like I was saying earlier before I was rudely interrupted by myself. I need names. I need names for this bug guy. I need names for the frog. I need names for the fish. There's a cat that you don't see, so I don't know. If you got a cat, what should I name him? Her? It? What? The cat? Um, yeah. Bug cootery board. It's probably just going to be a bug cootery board, to be honest. And then we've got our banger, our bug hanger. See, okay, those two I've got. I don't need help with those, but these little keychains will. I need to figure out what type of thread I'm gonna use. I think I want to go like the thread knot route, like maybe the waxy string, and then like do some of those cute knots with some beads, and I don't know, just make them feel cute and dangly. I like cute, dangly, beady charm things. They're also a little big, but they'll shrink some. I think they'll be a cute size for like bags and stuff. Oh my gosh, this frog! This frog is giving everything I could really want, to be honest. Like he's just chilling there. And I went back and added fingernails to the frog, by the way. This is bug cootery. These legs are probably going to fall off. This is the hooks. It is much, much later, and I'm back home again, and I picked up my ceramic stuff that was glazed, and it's kind of all terrible, low-key. So they were already, like, throwing them. I didn't do them super well, so I was hoping the glazing would save them. And I learned a very, very important new thing today, and that's that cone 5 and cone O5 are different. So the glazes were supposed to be fired at cone O5, which is way lower than cone 5. And I told them cone 5 because I don't know what I'm talking about. And so they were just like, they were heated way hotter than they needed to be. So you can kind of see there's a lot of bubbling that occurred. Which honestly, this is probably one of the better looking pieces. Like it's kind of fun with the bubbles, I guess. But it makes it not food safe because like there might be some exposed clay, and the clay is like toxic, you know, so I might be able to file these down and then like put a clear glaze over them and then fire them again. I need to look at some solutions, but I've got this one as well, which is just black, and then it's got like some like variation up here, and then the inside, I don't know. I was trying to do some like experimental glazing, and like low key, like these little spots are kind of cool, but it's mostly just a black mug, and this one like doesn't even like and this one has to stand up like on its handle too. It's just not well made to begin with, you know. um I'm so sad about this one. The last of the mugs is this guy. It looks terrible. It's got bubbles. All of the bugs that I painted just like slid down, and I knew it would do that a little bit, but I didn't think it would do it that much. And I kind of wonder if it would have done it that much if it was fired at the right temp. You know, like if it was a lower temp, maybe it wouldn't have ran so much. But the inside is also a little bubbly. Yeah, and it's an ugly mug, but it would have been a really cute ugly mug if the glazing worked. I think what I was saying in the last clip was basically if I'd used underglazes, like my illustrations would have stayed, and it was kind of a gamble anyway doing the glaze without considering the fact that then they were fired way too hot. So learning curves. But here are my other items. I had a bunch to fire. There's this little guy. It turned out pretty okay. It's kind of spotty inside, but it's like one of the more usable pieces. Like I said, I don't think any of the mugs are like food safe, which really sucks. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get those redone. This one my partner actually threw, and I didn't realize that until I had painted it. But it's like kind of fun. There originally had been a beetle in here, like a ladybug at the bottom, and that kind of went away. You can see like the remnants of it, but it doesn't really look like anything. But the outside's kind of fun, I guess. This one actually turned out to have like a very pretty glaze on it, except it's kind of patchy, and I don't like the inner color. It's like less saturated in real life, so just like it's just meh, you know. I don't know. And it's wonky, but again, like this was my first like real time throwing, so a lot of these forms are not particularly good. This one also didn't really turn out as much as well as I wanted. I was trying to do like sgraffito without like actually doing research into how to do sgraffito, so I didn't do like the underglaze first, and like I don't even know. I don't know if that was underglaze that I had put on. I don't know. I finally put a glaze on top, and again, it's fine. The form is pretty bad. There's a crack down the middle, and I don't like this inner color that I went with. I feel like it was like called like olive or something, but it's not giving what I thought it was supposed to be giving. So I don't know. And then last but not least, I actually kind of like this one. I don't know. I had like painted like dragonflies on it, and again they like melted off, and it's mediocre, but it's something. And actually like it's coated pretty well in glaze, so this is like a functional item. It's still pretty ugly, but it's functional. So yeah, that's our haul. I have a bunch of like small little guys, and then some crappy unusable mugs. So if you have ideas on what to do with like fully cooked ceramics, the person like at my studio was saying that maybe I could like break them like for a rage room, you know, but like that still just feels like wasteful to me. So we talked about maybe doing a mosaic or like sanding it down to make jewelry. I don't know. Let me know your ideas, because I would love to, I don't know, just find a home for these things. Maybe at one of my markets, some of them I'll like give away for free. I don't know. That makes me realize, I think this one I even had like a leafy design on it. That's crazy. This is definitely like, this would be cute, you know? Oh, there's my spiel. And that's all she wrote, folks. That's all he wrote. This is Archie. You don't see him as often. Oh my gosh, my baby collection in the background. This is a different room. Anyway, the video's over. Get out of here. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, sir. He's very sweet. I hope you can hear his purrs. Oh my goodness. Okay, bye. Have a good one. Make things. Have fun. Bye.